I sent you a song that I did in 19...
Hold on. All right, we're live. We're back. Sorry about that, folks. We had a little glitch with the internet connection. It was my fault. I was running from data instead of internet. Anyway, slap me in the ass. Anyway, what were you just saying? You were about to say something about a song you sent me.
I sent you a song that that was recorded, I guess around 1970.
What's up, Rose?
Around 72.
1972?
About 1972.
If I told you I wasn't 72, you'd cry. But anyway, go ahead.
If you were what?
If I told you how old I was in 1972, you would cry.
Why?
I was only 4.
So, what were you saying?
I wouldn't have heard the song even if I wanted to.
Well, I was a small kid myself.
Okay.
You know? I was a virtuoso. You know? What do you call those kids? I was a genius. Marvelous. But anyway, this particular song was written by me and Kenny Gamble.
Okay.
And a couple of other people.
I'm just grabbing my water.
But when you listen to the song, I think we should dedicate it to Donald.
Really? Listen, I don't want to talk about Donald. I don't want to talk politics tonight.
We're not talking politics. I just think we should dedicate it to him.
What's the song?
It's called I Don't Want to Hear.
Don't start with me tonight.
Well, I know you're a Donald fan, you know, but that's okay. We can always agree to disagree.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm salt and you're pepper. So we can
He finally came in. He finally said it. You heard it live right here on Facebook and on the radio station.
Like I said, we can agree to disagree. Of course, I'll turn my back because I got my fingers crossed.
Actually, I'm starting. The only reason why I said you should be salt and pepper because there was a salt and pepper.
Yeah, I know. It was Sammy Davis and
well, they were the original. Sammy Davis and Frank Sinatra.
No, it wasn't Frank Sinatra.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That was, not Joey Bishop.
The British boy. What's his name?
It was not Joey Bishop.
What the hell's his name?
Peter Lawford.
Peter Lawford.
Right. He was the original. He was the original Salt
and Pepper.
And they actually made a movie called Salt and Pepper.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
But we don't do bad as a
no, not at all. I think we do pretty good. Which, by the way, that brings up, we didn't get a chance last time you were on the show, which was 2 weeks ago.
Right.
We had Wally and Scott in here from Simple Sin, and they came early, and we just threw them right in and went to town, and we never got around to talk about what I really wanted to discuss with you, was your career in the industry, and I want my audience to be your audience. I want them to know all about you, so try and, go back to the beginning and give us, a quick synopsis of the whole thing.
Oh, my God.
A synopsis. You don't have to go too deep, and we can tell stories later.
It's hard to do a synopsis with me because I'm very...
Yeah, I know. You're deep. We know.
I'm deep. I'm heavy, baby.
He's very deep. He's so heavy I need a forklift to get him out of the chair.
Well, in that case, let me tell you a little bit about myself.
Please do.
Okay. I was born in Philadelphia, in South Philly, actually. And I raised a little bit in South Philly, but I was really sick as a kid, with asthma and stuff like that. So the doctors at Jefferson Hospital told my mother, said, listen, you need to move this kid, around salt water, somewhere else,
Right.
She picked Florida. So I was raised partially in Florida around salt water, north Miami. Okay. And I grew up there going to the beach every day. I'm really a water baby. I don't know how I got to be on dry land like this. But
with these winters, holy smokes.
It really cured my asthma. Right. And I became a musician at 12 years old professionally.
Nice. Playing
calypso on Miami Beach.
Wow.
And I played in Millionaires Row, which is, they call it South Beach now. Then it was Millionaires Row,
It's still Millionaires Row.
It's still Millionaires Row. But, you had the Fountain Blue Hotel, and, I met Sinatra and Dean Martin and all the Rat Pack and all those cats when they were down there shooting the movies and stuff like that. So we actually played calypso for those guys, and, for their entertainment and stuff like that. So it was kind of cool. So I grew up in the entertainment game like that. And eventually I came back to Philadelphia and started playing locally. I wasn't really playing with anybody because I didn't know anybody. Right. And I eventually hooked up with a local artist here. And he had a couple of records out. His name was Frankie Beverly. And
I've heard that name.
Yeah, Frankie Beverly and Mays.
Okay.
They turned into Mays,
right.
but before we were the Butlers. And,
the Butlers.
And we were the Butlers, you know. And that went off.
You singing a cappella on a street corner or what?
Oh, I did a lot of that. Yeah, doo-wopping on the corner? Sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's a couple guys that are friends of
that.
mine. The Temptations. Ronald, we called him, Ryan. I can't remember Ron's last name. It's terrible. If you're listening to this, man, I'm terrible. But Ryan went on to become one of the Temps, and we used to sing on the corners all the time. Yeah. That's what we did. Well, that was the big thing.
I was going to say, Philly was known for that.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that was New York City. It wasn't. Philly, Philly was the doo-wop on the corners.
Philly was the doo-wop capital, man.
Yep. They were doing it. They were doing it in New York, but not so much as in Philly.
Not as much as Philadelphia. You know, we were known for it. You know.
Listen, I want you to hold it right there. We have 30 seconds until this song is over. We got to go back live on the radio. For those of you tuned in on Facebook, if you want to hear the music, you need to tune in to the radio station at www.AOTR.Rocks. We're not playing it in the studio. That's coming out live on the radio station. What you're seeing here on Facebook is behind the scenes in studio, and I just didn't feel like hooking up all the cables and shit for you to hear the music, so go listen on the radio station. That's about it. That's about the most I can tell you. Lee, Billy, and John Zafran, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. All right, we're back live at AOTR.Rocks. You're listening to the Artist on the Rise radio show. I am Guy Tolve. I am joined by my partner in crime for this evening, T-Life, sitting here right with me. This man's a legend in his own mind. I'm sorry, a legend in his own time.
Yeah, that too. Because if you're not a legend in your own mind, you'll never be a legend in anybody else's. Exactly. Trust me. Okay.
For those of you tuned in on the radio, you might have missed, we were just talking about T-Life's beginnings. He started out as a child in Philadelphia and moved down to Florida due to some health concerns, asthma to be specific, all that stuff, and then moved back to Philadelphia and became a professional musician at 12 years old, and that's pretty much where we left off, so why don't you pick it up right from there?
Well, actually, I was a professional before I came back to Philly, so I was already...
Well, okay,
when you make money, you make money,
you're considered a professional.
You
get paid, you're a professional.
And also, I played a lot of blues when I was down in Florida. So I was raised on the great blues artists down there.
Right.
I saw all the greats, you know, from Etta James to...
I love Etta James.
B.B. King, Albert King.
Have you ever been to B.B. King's in New York?
No, I've never been there.
Down in, the original one is in... Where's the original one? I forget now.
I have no clue.
Oh, my God, I'm forgetting.
I have no clue.
But anyway, I went to the one in New York City.
But I saw BB down in Miami many, many years ago. This is before there was even a BB King club.
Right.
So I can't relate to that, but I can certainly relate to seeing those guys in the Chitlin circuit, so to speak. That's what
let me explain that. For those of you that don't know what the Chitlin circuit is, unfortunately, this country used to be a very racist place to live if you had this man's color skin. So basically, the Chitlin circuit was black clubs for black performers, and you were basically told that's where you had to play, and they had their own little circuit of clubs. Did I explain that properly?
Yeah, but some of them were not as much Chitlin-y as they were, you take a club like Sir John.
Right.
Down in Florida, you know, it's like the Harlem Club.
Right.
Remember the Harlem Club?
Yes, I never went to it. Yeah, I never went to it.
Okay, it was sort of
actually
like that.
The clubs that
upper
I remember,
echelon, but black, and it's.
I grew up hearing about all the clubs in the real Harlem in New York City.
Right.
You know, like the Cotton Club and 21 and all those places where you had a lot of black performers, but black people couldn't sit down and watch the show.
Right.
Makes no sense.
Right.
That's a conversation for another time. But
yeah, that's another conversation.
Yeah, but,
we'll talk about that some other time.
But I get what you mean.
Which a lot of people up north don't know about.
Right. They don't.
They don't.
They didn't experience it.
They didn't experience that. But that's another story.
Right. We could get into that later. But we're talking about the Harlem Club down in Jersey.
Yeah. Well, we weren't really talking about that. I just got thrown off a little bit. But my total experience with coming up north and playing here, you know, since I was into Motown, you know, everybody was into Motown per se, you know, on the planet. Right. So I had a little bit of doo-wop in me. I had a little bit of blues in me. I had a little bit of pop in me.
Talk about a musical education, though.
Oh, great education.
Amazing.
Great education, man. I had one of the best educations in the world. And when I came off the road in 1969, I was sort of like tired of playing R&B,
right?
You know, and pop stuff, you know. And
well, not to interrupt you, but the whole world was exploding around you in the musical world. You had the Beatles on top of their game. Zeppelin was just getting ready to take off, and
then you had Hendrix
and Hendrix.
You had Hendrix and Cream and Buddy Miles, and
you must have been one confused man, teenager, whatever it was, saying, "Okay, what do I do next?"
Well, that didn't go on for long. What do I do next? It didn't, you know.
I mean musically, not
what I'm talking about. Musically was a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I left, we were playing in Newport, Rhode Island.
Right.
Right. When I made the decision to divorce myself.
Okay.
And everybody was on their way to Woodstock.
Right.
But they stopped in Newport, Rhode Island for the jazz festival first. So,
right.
Now you got Miles Davis with his back turned to the audience.
You see, for a lot of people listening to this, I don't know how many people that listen to the show would remember these people, but...
Oh, they don't. But if they don't, then I'm sure there are a lot of people that do remember Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention.
Absolutely. You know what? If you don't remember any of these people, do yourself a favor and go look them up on YouTube.
Go look up that 1968.
My cousin Andrea just chimed in. What's up, Andrea? Good seeing you. Anyway, Gad, I'm sorry.
I love Zappa. Zappa was insane. It was, you know, when you look at those kind of shows, you got Sly Stone,
right?
And they flew into the field.
Now that was before it was Sly and the Family Stone.
No. This was Sly and the Family Stone. They all flew in and they were sharp as a tack. Flew in the helicopter and landed in the middle of the field, and we were all sitting there going, "Wow, far out." You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But anyway, that's when I got baptized.
Just remember the man on the loudspeaker. Don't take the purple pills.
We did them already.
Somebody shouted out, too late.
Yo, man, this is not you want to... Anyway, so once that whole thing happened, you know... And
my cousin Anthony just... Oh, my family's tuning in tonight. Thanks, guys. We got Anthony Patino, Vinny Webb.
Hey, everybody.
They're all tuned in. Thank you very much.
And these are war stories, by the way.
Yep,
but anyway, once I left Newport and came back to Philly, it was a wrap for me.
Right.
I knew I could never, ever go back to doing My Girl. Because My Girl would be like, I've got sunshine. Yeah.
You're so right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was a wrap, man. So I did that, and I formed a group called Expedition 69.
Okay.
And it had two of, it had the Grubb brothers.
Right.
They were disciples of John Coltrane.
Okay.
I had
now that's really getting thrown back.
Oh, now I'm like...
You're talking real back in the day.
No.
Well, not for you. I'm talking about...
I just turned 39. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, you know, you remember Uncle Benny, Jack.
Wasn't he your godfather?
Yeah, that was my main man. And
oh, God.
They were disciples of Coltrane.
Okay.
And I had this group. It was totally like Spaceville.
Right.
They had Joe Scatz on tenor sax and the Grubb brothers, and I had a young lady who played congas and stuff with me and stuff like that. And that band lasted for about 2 weeks.
That's the way it goes sometimes.
It was a real fast burnout. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen bands go into a basement, get together and get a name, look for clothes, gear everything up, play a chord and go, we're done. No band. We're out of here.
We actually were really, really good. It was a really good band. It was just not where I wanted to be.
Right.
And so I just ended that whole thing, and the rest is history, as they would say. I went and I formed another group called Spiritual Concept.
Right.
You
know what? Before we do that, I just feel like it's the perfect moment right now. That since we're talking to T-Life and everything, and everybody must be saying, well, who is this dude? We want to know who this dude is. So I think it's time for us to play a song. And you know what? I want to put this on in the studio as well as for the people on Facebook.
Right.
Would you be so kind as to go over there and bring up California California Girl, right?
California Woman.
California Woman. Sorry, my fault.
Well,
put that on there. I'm going to get, before you put that on, we're going to time this so that you can hear it in the studio and on the radio at the same time. So give me 3 seconds to look it up.
Well, this is a longer version than I...
That's all right. Well, then you know what? Why don't we do, instead of California Girl, why don't we do Saturday Night?
We can do that.
Let's do that. All right, so I'm going to drop in Saturday Night into the radio side of it. T-Life is going to put it on here on Facebook. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this. Actually, I need you to do yours first so we don't lose time on the radio station. I don't want that to still be blaring in here. All right, so while T-Life brings that up, I want to thank everybody that's tuned in. I think I already said hello, my cousin Anthony. He said, what's up, cuz? What's up, dude? Great seeing you in here. Sorry that I'm trying to go through this and I keep knocking the thing down. I already said hello to Lee Billy. TJ, my son TJ, what's up, dude? People are sending me messages. I don't know why. Right? Oh, Eric Tate. Okay, need a favor. Mostly Metal is featuring a band from OH tonight called Downcore. Can you shout that out for me? Absolutely. Such a shout out for the show that comes up after us. Look at this. I just dropped this thing. Right? The show that comes up after us here on AOTR.Rocks. The show that comes up after us is the Mostly Metal show, which you all know that already. And Puddin wanted me to give a shout out for a band, which I now have to go back and find and bring up. So I will shout that out for you when we take a break. I'll go in and get the name of that band out again. What do we got here? Mints. I do need one.
LSD.
All right, so are you ready with your song on that side?
Yeah, I think we can rock it.
All right, so we're going to drop this in for you here on Facebook and on the radio. This is T-Life with a song called Saturday Night. We'll talk about the song and when he wrote it and all later on.
I got the blue on my shoulders, nothing new. Shit, I'm out of order. Nothing seems to turn out right. I just want some love on Saturday night. Ooh, babe, packing my bag. Said I'm out the door now. Jumping in my car. I got my foot on the floor now. So come on, baby, hold on tight. I just want some love on a Saturday night. You better run for cover. Red and yellow, black or white. I just want some love on Saturday night. Love it. I'm gonna fall in love on a Saturday night. Wow! I could be dancing with the devil, but I wouldn't even feel the fire. No, I wanna make love a sweet love under the painful night, and we can both come together.
All right. Oh, yeah. All right, folks. That was the man sitting to my left. In your screen, he's on my right because I know what backwards to you. That's T-Life with a song. I want to know what you people think of that stuff. I want you guys. We're going to be playing some more songs from T-Life tonight, including a almost 6-minute song. Right?
No, it's almost 7-minute song. But it's not boring.
No, it's not boring. It's not boring at all. What are you kidding? All right, listen. On the radio side of it, I'm dropping in another song. We're going to stay here live on Facebook. Here's some Rope Tree with Dark Enough, and then My Heavy Memory with One Way Blazing.
Hi, guys.
Let's
Hey.
Hey.
What's the deal, Pickle?
Well, guess what today is?
No.
Oh, I forgot all about that. You
but
know
I
that?
didn't forget. Today is the 6th anniversary of Mr. Guy Tolve being on the radio.
Oh, wow.
I actually forgot about that myself. Today is actually 6 years to the day since I started the Artists on the Rise radio show.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And today
And
is the
I'm glad
first
you were
day
here with me to do this.
of your thing for your cooking show.
Yeah, actually, for those that are tuned in, I announced it earlier. I actually did a screen test today for my own TV show. It's a cooking show, and we're going to have metal bands and rock bands and stuff like that coming in. So we did a screen test today. The producers liked it, and we're gonna see where it goes. I mean, we'll see where it goes. We're not ready to make any formal announcements. Let's put it that way. But it was awesome. By the way, T-Life he was in the screen test with me.
Yeah, they made me do it.
Oh,
I made you do it. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it.
I want to mess up my rock and roll image, like being on this show. You know, this ain't who I am.
You said that last time you were on here. What exactly do you mean by that?
Well, I mean,
is that a race thing?
No, it's not a racial thing. It's not a race thing. Almost, but not quite. You know, I have an image to secure. You know, to make my image
absolutely
pure rock.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could be like some poor rat that ain't got but one hole to climb in. So I decided that I wasn't going to be a starving musician. I was going to get some kind of TV show happening if it was the last thing I did.
So get this straight. You're going to ride my coattails on a TV show. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Excuse me, why the heck not? Why the heck not? You know what I'm saying? Hell, Donald Trump's in office. We're all riding that coattail. Or he's riding somebody's coattail. You know, it's crazy.
Hey, listen, before I forget, I want to do this. The Mostly Metal show comes up after me tonight, after us, I should say, tonight, at 9 p.m., and they are featuring a band from Ohio called Downcore. Right?
Oh, well, they're from Ohio, and I have a new artist by the name of CeCe Cannon. She's from Youngstown, Ohio.
Yeah, I don't know where they're from. The message I got was that they're going to be featuring tonight on the Mostly Metal show.
Wow.
A band from Ohio called Downcore. So I wanted to make sure to let you guys know. Don't forget to tune in at 9 when we're done here. Make sure you're over at the radio station for Mostly Metal. Because listen, I'm tired of telling Rocco that he's got to come and break your legs, all right? Oh, you want to hear something funny? I got a brand new phone.
Okay.
Transferred all my numbers from the old phone to the new phone.
Right.
Of course, only a handful of numbers came in.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They all got left behind. I lost more than half my numbers. But Rocky's and Rocco's number came in on the new phone.
You got to be kidding.
Swear to God, I'll show it to you. Actually, I can't show it to you because we're using that as the camera.
The Killers?
Shh, they're not killers. Shh, don't say that. We're live on Facebook. But anyway.
Well, you know, we got to be transparent now. You know, everything is transparency, you know.
But anyway, the moral of this whole story is make sure you tune in to Mostly Metal when we're done. Priscilla and Puddin', and don't forget Lucy. Good old Lucy, which is Lucifer. Don't forget about them. Him, I should say her. Sometimes it's a him, sometimes you got to listen to the show. By the way, Puddin' also does the Saturday morning fuddies on our station here on Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Don't forget to tune in for that every Saturday morning. And, just make sure you do that. And also, the Yvonne Candy Show is coming to the station this month on the 16th. We're tentatively set for Thursday mornings, I believe, at 11 a.m. Just follow on Facebook and along to get the exact time. I'm pretty sure it's 11 a.m. on Thursdays. You're going to want to tune in for that. It's going to be a lifestyle show with some music and all kinds of great stuff. As a matter of fact, go check her out now at YvonneCandy.com. Straight up, Yvonne Candy. It's spelled YVO, 2 N's, NNE, Candy with a K, KANDI. YvonneCandy.com. Go check her out. She's got some videos up there from her TV show. And check her out also on YouTube. If you want to see segments from her her television show, you can go check her out on YouTube. Again, Yvonne Candy. Just type it in, spell it right, and she'll come right up for you. All right.
Yeah.
Now that we're done with some plugs and promos and blah, 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 why don't we get back to some music?
Gotta pay some bills.
Yeah, exactly. Why don't we get back to some music?
I'm ready. I mean, whenever
You ready
you're
to drop
ready.
in one of yours? I don't have all of yours in here. I only have 3, and I'm saving rougher and rougher for later. It's only 7:35. We got to go till 9, so we got to drop in some music here. You know what? Why don't I do this? I'm going to drop in a nice block on the radio side of this.
Okay.
We're going to stay here with you on Facebook, because it seems like this is where most of the people are. So we're going to do Afraid of My Neighbor. I'm going to drop in some Fatally Yours with Exit Sign, one of my favorite songs from them. We got Crippled Black Phoenix, song called Of a Lifetime. That's a dynamite song. I love it. Why don't we start with those 3? And I just might surprise you with one more. So here we go. Keep it tuned right here. www.AOTR.Rocks. We're live on Facebook. We're live on the radio. Come check us out. Thanks for tuning in.
You should have.
We're still live up there.
I know. That's life.
What's that?
That's life. You should have it up there. I sent it to you.
Which one?
That's life.
What's That's Life?
That's T-Life. That's life.
I have that song?
That's life. Right there. I just sent it to you.
Oh, I didn't put it in yet. I got to go in the email and get it out.
Well, you need to go get it out.
Well, I didn't know. You see what he's doing to me, folks? You see what he's doing to me?
To you. You're being a slow leap. See that right there?
You know, I'm going to reset it. Here we go. Right here, right? This one?
I didn't give it a title. What is that right there?
I have 3 in here that I already downloaded.
Is that one right there?
Actually, wait. That says 3. I missed the song here, didn't I?
California.
No. I have that one already. And then down here, I have Saturday Night. And down here, I have That's
There you
Life.
go.
There we go.
There you go.
All right. Let's drop that in. Let me just go ahead.
Mess around, brother.
See, he's another one of those artists that sends me the music while he's sitting here with me, and he doesn't even title it right. I have to go in and rename it and reformat it.
You know, listen, I didn't promise you a rose garden.
Yeah, well, I want a rose garden. You know what? They always say nobody ever promises a rose garden. When do I get one?
You never get one.
When do I get one?
You don't never get one.
You know, my wife's in the background out there, and she's saying, never, never. So I guess that means I'm done.
It's a wrap for you.
Yeah, so anyway, why don't we get back to what we were talking about earlier, a little continue on with your story. Why don't you fast forward a little bit and
Well, I am. I'm going as fast as I can.
What I mean by fast forward, I mean why don't we?
I know what you mean. You want me to edit it down and get right to the meat and potatoes?
Well, no, not really.
What?
No, I want to talk about your actual music, like the stuff that we're playing tonight, and all that good stuff. I want to talk about the music.
Well, I thought you want to talk about my life and how I got to this music.
Why would I want to do that? Of course I do. Go ahead. That's exactly what I'm asking you.
Now you shut me down. I'm ready to shut down now.
Well, don't do that with this.
My feelings are hurt.
His feelings are hurt. Yeah, okay.
Well, let's take a song like That's Life. See, I've been between rhythm and blues, rock and roll, and blues.
Right.
Hard rock.
Okay.
You know. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I love hard rock. I'm a guitar player, and there's nothing like hard rock for me.
Absolutely.
Metal, I love metal music too.
Right.
Metal is a derivative of rock, of hard rock.
Right, of course.
You dig what I'm saying? That's all it is. So
you're preaching to the choir there, brother.
Oh yeah, well,
you're preaching to the choir
I just got to let you know that I know.
I know you know.
And what I did was, I did an album with RCA.
Right.
And so I figured I'd come down the middle because I'm known as a R&B record producer. I've produced hits for other R&B artists, mega artists.
Right.
And so I was never known as an artist myself.
Right.
So when I did my first album, I said, well, I'm going to do who I am, which is a cross between rock and roll,
right,
R&B, and then some other stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I've developed over the years.
Well, this newer stuff that
sound.
we've been playing tonight, that's written all over it. It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of stuff, I've been doing it all the time.
Right.
You know, but it's more refined now. And they knew it was different. But with most record companies, like I did an album with RCA. I did one with Arista, where I pretty much sort of like flipped the script a little bit and tried to do a little disco with a T-Life twist to it. And Clive loved it. I mean, he loved it. You know, it's just they could not, when people get so used to being followers.
Right.
You know, I love Clive because I knew Clive had a...
Just hold on. Just for those of you that don't know, Clive Davis is a music industry giant. He way back in the day, I don't remember where he started, but where he comes into play for me is he took over a label called Bell Records at the time, a fledgling label that wasn't really doing much. There were a whole bunch of artists on it. He dropped everybody. He kept Bette Midler. He kept Dionne Warwick. He kept Barry Manilow. He threw everybody else off the label, and he formed up Arista Records. And that's what he's talking about.
Epic. He ran Epic for a long, long time.
Yeah, but Epic was... He took over Bell, renamed it Arista. Then he took over Epic and added that to his... now is huge.
It was either... Whatever. Yeah. But I was...
The only thing he doesn't own now is Sony.
Yeah.
He owns everything else.
Yeah. But I signed with him, and, you know, we had a pretty good run. But I was recording another artist that was signed to him at the time.
Okay.
So Barry Manilow and we did Phyllis Hyman.
So you did work with Barry?
Yeah. He did half of the album. I did the other half. Okay. You know, and at the same time, I did my album.
Right.
So
I got to ask you, which album was that for him?
That was Somewhere in My Lifetime album.
Oh, okay.
With Arista.
Right.
For Phyllis Hyman.
Mm-hmm. Right, that was
I mean, it was a
just to clarify, this wasn't a Barry Manilow album. T-Life and Barry produced it for another artist.
Right, for Phyllis Hyman.
Right, for Phyllis Hyman.
And Barry had a pretty good run with Somewhere in My Lifetime, and I had a song on the album called So Strange. So I took her into the disco era because she wasn't doing any disco.
Right.
She didn't know how to do that. You know, they didn't know how to get it. So I put her into like a disco kind of a thing, a more of a rhythmic, you know, up-tempo beat. I always tell people I never recorded any disco, and I never did in terms of what disco was supposed to be, you know. But I did good dance music because I come from Philly International.
Right. That actually leads me into my next question.
Wow.
I think we're in the same time period here. Let's talk about Evelyn Champagne King and your connection with her and what went on there.
Well, Evelyn King was... almost like a phenomenon, you know. Here was a young lady who cleaned up, who helped her mother and father, you know, clean up at night. They were the cleanup crew at Philly International Records.
Okay. And
I was a staff producer there.
Right.
You know. And
that's interesting.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. I came out, we were doing, I think it was a Lou Rawls session that night, and I came out of the studio, and we looked, you know, I heard this voice. It's a true story. I heard this voice. Some kid was singing. Some woman was singing.
Right.
Didn't sound
well,
like
she
a
was
kid.
Young, but she
was only 14.
That's the same thing like Franz Jolie. Nobody would ever believe that she was only 13 or 14. She recorded Come to Me and all those songs.
And I listened, and I said, wait a minute. I said, who the hell is that? Because, see, that late at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, there's only a few producers that have keys in the building, along with the maintenance guy and the security. So I said, well, who could that be? You know?
Right.
You know who's in the building, you know.
Right, of course.
And I walked up, and
don't mind if I'm looking at this. I'm just watching the time on the radio. Cool. We're going to go back live on the radio.
And I heard this voice, and I opened up the door. The door was kind of cracked, and I said, excuse me. She said, yes. I said, did you hear somebody singing around here? She said, no.
She said, no?
Said, really? That's when I knew I was tripping. Anyway.
You weren't tripping, she was lying.
But I thought I was tripping. You know what I'm saying? If you get my drift. But anyway, so I left, you know, went on back doing what I was doing, and came back out, decided that now I needed a soda. You know what I'm saying? I was parched, as they say.
Well.
And I heard the voice again.
I'm sure I sorted out a little something extra in it.
No, I didn't have anything, just Pepsi.
Oh, okay.
you know.
Shameless plug for Pepsi. They owe us money now.
Yeah. Yeah, you
We
gotta
plug
pay
your
us.
ass, you pay us.
We plugged you plenty of times. But anyway, and I heard that voice again. But this time I figured I'd be a little smart and just sneak around the corner. And there she was. And I looked and I said, Jesus Christ, this little skinny thing singing like this. And the rest is history. All I got to say
I got to ask you to hold it right there. We're going to go back live on the radio now. The music is ending on that side of it. Just actually, we got 10 seconds. Like I said, you're watching behind the scenes. This is how it works. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are back live on the Artist on the Rise radio show. My name is Guy Tolve. Thank you for tuning in tonight. As always, you guys are amazing. I love you. And we're sitting here with T-Life, and we're kind of doing double duty tonight with Facebook and the radio station. And just to let you know, you're getting half the conversation and half the spot wherever you are. If you're on Facebook, you get most of it. If you're on the radio station and we're playing music in between, you're getting half. But I do promise you, I will have the entire audio up probably in the next 48 hours on YouTube or Facebook or both, and you'll be able to hear the entire show as it all happened live. So, and also don't forget to tune into Mostly Metal right, tonight at 9 p.m. when we're done. And now we're going to get back to T-Life, who's talking about his the way he met Evelyn King, which you might know her as Evelyn Champagne King. She was basically, I mean, Donna Summer was the queen of disco, but she wasn't that far behind her, and at that time.
No, she wasn't that far behind her. But you got to understand that Donna Summer came out of Casablanca,
right?
You know,
which was a huge label,
Bogart and all those people, and it was huge. And she was
you know
young.
Who, I don't mean to interrupt. You know who made that label, right? Casablanca.
No,
Kiss.
Oh yeah.
If it wasn't for Kiss going on Casablanca, they would have went out of business.
Oh yeah.
They kept them alive all those years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to give
just
a little footnote. Just a little footnote.
But you know, and I've met Kiss. I know Kiss pretty well. But Evelyn was. It was never. I think in my mind, it was never expected for her to take off. We had 3 singles. We had 2 singles that were dropped prior to Shame.
Right. Okay.
So we were really on our way out of the door. The first one didn't take off. The second one, I think, was Teddy Pendergrass and myself wrote. It was Dancing, Dancing, Dancing.
But that song took off eventually.
Right. Dancing, Dancing, Dancing. Never. It got to a certain point.
I'm not going to sing it. Are we thinking about the same song?
Yeah, no, we're not thinking about the same
I'm thinking of Dancing.
No.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That was something Queen. What was it called?
Is it Dancing Machine?
Yeah,
That's
Dancing
Michael Jackson or the Jacksons or whatever.
Never mind, wrong song. I stand corrected. But anyway, go ahead.
What the hell is this? Here I am crying out my soul, telling you people who I don't even know. I actually don't really care, But no, I'm only kidding. But. No. The song never happened. It didn't happen.
Right.
So at the last song, you get 3 strikes and you're out in any game in America.
Oh yeah.
And
sometimes you don't even get that in the music business.
Sometimes you don't even get that, So the third one was like, T, what do we do? Well, we got one more place, only one thing to do now.
Right.
And that's Release the Bomb.
And that was Shane.
And Warren Schatz was part of that, and Al Garrison. And we had it done, I had a long version of it, but the guys...
It did hit number 1, didn't it?
Yeah, but I think it was number 9. Well, it was close to number 1.
No, it had to go higher than 9. I'll look it up. That song had to be higher than 9.
But the thing was, it was on the top 100. But that album, I had 2 albums on the charts for 2 years.
That's nice.
All right.
So for those of you that are tuned in, that's the reason why he's here with me. Look what I get to sit next to. A legend. Yeah. I love it.
It's great, man. It was a great ride, to be on the charts for 2 years. Yeah. And a lot of people don't even know what that means.
No, they don't.
That means that's consecutive. That's like legendary, and that's like history. That's why Evelyn's records are on the gold label at
Right.
RCA Records.
Right.
You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
And
Well,
that
they were gold records.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the gold label, which is
Right, I know what you mean.
History. You know, it comes out every year.
Right. Mhm.
So you know,
that
it's
song's
like,
still around. Any classic disco.
It's a classic. That's a classic.
We
you
have
know.
this. We have a 70s show and 80s show that I'm starting actually this week on the station.
Right.
On Saturday nights.
Right.
It's Remember the 70s and Back to the 80s. Two
Right.
different shows, back to back. One's going to air at 9 o'clock and the other one's going to start at 11. It might be 8 and 10. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, all those songs that we just mentioned, they're all in that. You can't do a throwback thing like that without adding in those types of songs and
No,
those people.
no,
They're
you
all
can't.
legends in that.
No,
and,
you can't.
and for all the metal and rock people that listen to the show, you may not like disco or anything, but you got to realize those people work just as hard for their craft as anybody that picked up a guitar and grabbed the
absolutely.
microphone and grabbed the drum kit or whatever. It's equal. There's nobody's above anybody else when you get to that level. If you make it there, you're doing something right. Especially back then, and you correct me if I'm wrong. Music was more even, I think it may be more segmented now, but it was really segmented back then. You still had the 50s thing going on for that generation. Mm-hmm. You had the whole 60s Flower Child thing going on with the Beatles and not even the Beatles, I should say, like Zeppelin and Grateful Dead and all those people.
Right.
So you had that. You still had Big Band was still big because that generation wasn't that old yet. So that was still around. You had your swing. And then all of a sudden comes this brand new thing called disco. And it found its way in.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, so you tell me if I'm wrong. To face what disco was facing and still be able to break into the mainstream, it's like, holy cow. I mean, okay, it came and it went, but it had its place and it had its time. And you gotta give props and kudos.
Oh yeah.
To every one of those artists, producers, and songwriters that wrote that stuff. Because let me tell you something. At least that stuff, unlike so many music today, was real. There were real orchestras performing that stuff in that studio.
Sure. But it got
horns
so,
and violins.
It became when I was here when disco got here, the so-called disco.
Right.
Before that, there's always been dance music. There has always been.
I'm talking about the
music.
real disco.
Okay, the real disco.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I think you get where I'm going with this.
Disco came with the action in the clubs.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's just like hip hop.
Exactly.
Hip hop happened from the clubs,
right?
You know,
exactly.
from the streets to the clubs.
Actually, I don't mean to correct you, but hip hop actually started in house parties.
Well, that's what I'm saying. House parties,
yeah,
clubs, whatever.
Yeah.
But eventually, anything that comes out of the house will wind up
in the club. Because the people from the house went to the club.
So, yeah, you know,
that's how it goes.
But you know, good dance music has always happened. So that's why I tell people I never particularly cut disco because there was no disco. We did good dance music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then after a while, it just became this big thing with the music, the dance music, that when it got to the clubs, they had to give it a label, disco.
Right.
And that came from the ball in the center of the
discotheque.
The
disco ball.
discotheque.
It was actually disco ball. Yeah.
You know, and it was a time of sexual freedom.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Studio 54.
Sexual freedom.
That was ridiculous.
Drugs were more prevalent.
Studio 54 was a haven for drugs. I mean, people having sex behind the couches in that place.
I would not know about that. I've heard stories.
Well, I grew up on the same block, and I was too young to go to Studio 54, but I grew up on the same block with the keyboard player from Blondie, which was Jamie Destry. His name was James Mollica.
Okay.
And I remember meeting Deborah Harry and the whole band and Chris and all of them and being on the block with them. And I remember them going to Studio 54. And even Deborah Harry came back saying, what the hell was that? It was some scene, man.
I've been to Studio 54 a few times. And I tell you, yeah, it was different. It was way different, actually. Yeah. And my wife and I went there one night. I went there for Rocket Records, the record premiere.
Right, the premiere.
With Elton John when he launched his record label.
His actual thing.
His actual
thing.
Which was
that called? Rocket Man Music, something like that?
Yeah, it was Rocket Records.
It's Rocket something,
Records. Paul Anka was there. I met Paul Anka.
I've met Paul Anka.
You met Paul Anka?
Yeah, I've met Paul Anka.
Really, really smooth, cool dude.
Yeah,
man.
he is. He really is. People forget.
The song that we're going to play. We're going to play That's Life.
right,
was the same title that he wrote for Frank Sinatra.
Right. I was
going
to say,
and we talked about it.
Paul Anka wrote My Way. He wrote That's Life. He wrote the songs.
Right,
and by the way, while we're on the subject, I need to correct myself.
Right.
This is an actual correction. Don't believe I'm admitting I was wrong. The last time we were here, we were talking about the theme from the Godfather movie, the actual song, "Speak Softly, Love," and you were talking about Al Martino. I was wrong. Al Martino did not sing that song.
Oh, who sang it?
It was. Give me 2 seconds, and I will come up with his name again. It was not Al Martino. It was something Jones. Ron Jones? No. He was actually pretty famous at the time. Give me a minute, it'll come to me. I had it in my head a minute ago, I just lost it. But it was not Al Martino that sang that song, it was somebody else that sang
that. Was it an Italian singer?
Yeah, he was an Italian singer. Right. Lori, do me a favor, I need your help. Go on Google, look up Speak Softly, Love, and tell me who sang it.
We actually had to go through this.
What's that?
No, I was just telling the audience there.
No, it'll bother me now.
Authenticated.
Yeah, it'll bother me. Well, that's why we have a producer.
I would tell a lie.
Yeah, they're supposed to look this stuff up.
Just to make people go to Google and say, that's not him, and then he come back and they would beat you up on top of this on the screen. You know?
I'm sorry, it was Andy Williams.
Oh, Andy Williams.
That's who it was. He sang Speak Softly. And you know what?
Yeah.
That dude's Italian too. He changed his name to Williams.
Yeah.
I think he's Italian. I could be wrong. Somebody look it up. But
no, I think you're right though.
Yeah, I think he's Italian, but he changed his name to Williams. But you know what? I was shocked when I found out it was him, because he was kind of like one of those paper people back then. Like you had the Sinatras, the real big ones, and you had these guys that would be playing the piano ball while Sinatra was playing the big stage at the casino.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they got their own fame and their own rights.
Andy Williams, the Williams brothers.
Yeah.
Huge.
Oh yeah, huge. But
they were huge.
But
man.
Andy Williams wasn't really a part of that, was he?
He was. But he left the group.
Right.
He left, and the group said, "Man,
I was gonna say, weren't there two incarnations of the Williams brothers?
No, there was only one. How you reincarnate? You're talking.
Another was like another brother came and Andy left, or maybe there was another group. You know what? I'll look that up too. There was another Williams brothers.
I don't know. But I remember there were the Williams brothers. I was watching a documentary on it because I didn't know where Andy Williams came from.
Right.
And when I found out, I said, "Oh wow, there was a whole family."
Yeah.
You know, and he was the youngest.
Yeah. He had a great voice, though. By the way, he really had a very strong voice.
Sing. He was the only one that could sing like that.
Yeah, he could. He had some pipes. He had some pipes.
It was sort of like what's the kid like Michael Jackson and.
I don't discuss Michael Jackson. Biggest disappointment in music in history, besides Elvis Presley dying too young, in my opinion.
Well.
Michael Jackson, if things would have went right, if he didn't do what he did to himself, would have been bigger than all of them combined.
Well, he was.
And there's no disputing that.
Well, he was.
By the time he passes away, he doesn't have that status anymore because of all the bullshit that went on.
You get as big as you're allowed to get.
I know that.
And that's a spiritual thing.
Mm-hmm. I know that.
You know, my mother always told me, say, you know, you can cut your own life short.
Mm-hmm.
You can.
Yes, you can. I almost did. And we're not going to discuss that tonight.
That's another topic.
All right, listen, we're here and we are having a great time. What I want to do is I want to drop in. Actually, I should back up because this is such a flowing conversation. I forgot to tell people you're listening to the Artist on the Rise radio show. You're either watching it on Facebook or listening on the radio. I have not looked at the ratings tonight, by the way. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to crank up another T-Life tune.
Oh.
Just because I want to. And I think that we should do That's Life because I'm saving Rougher and Rougher for last. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop in That's Life. We're going to crank it up here in the studio for those that are watching on Facebook. And, of course, I'm going to put it on the regular radio station for everybody else. So why don't you go ahead and get that ready.
Oh,
right, so we could drop it in simultaneously so they can hear it on Facebook and at the radio station at the same time. Yeah, we're having a great time tonight. Say again? Yeah, I want you to play it and let me know when you're ready. In the meantime, let me tell you.
I'm ready.
All right, hold that thought for 1 minute. Before we do this, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that the Mostly Metal Show is coming up at 9 p.m. when we're done here. I need you to go and tune into that. They have a great band out of Ohio called, Downcore. Right, Downcore is their special guest tonight, and I was asked to promo that for them, and I'm happy to do it because, let's face it, they're on my station. All right, so you got that, and then you got the Yvonne Candy Show. The Yvonne Candy Show is coming to www.AOTR.Rocks. It's coming to AOTR on this month, actually, on the 16th, and I want you to tune in for that. Great lady. Before you go and hear the show on the 16th, I'm going to be putting some videos up on the website. There's actually one up there already. I want to introduce you to her, get you familiar with her. There's a video up there now. Check that out if you're at the homepage, and all that good stuff. And we're hoping to get her on tonight. I'm not sure if she'll be here or not. We'll figure it out later. But in the meantime, I did my shameless plugs. Why don't we go ahead and drop in this music for these people
You
now?
ready?
I am ready if you're ready.
Well, I was ready.
All right, you drop yours in and I'll drop mine in.
All right, here we go.
Good timing. Right, let's let the people hear the song. I'm going to step out here for a minute.
Trouble in the city. Sometimes things ain't very pretty. No, they ain't. Well, living in the city, sometimes things seem kind of silly. Yes, they do. But that's life. Ain't no doubt about it, that's life. Well, just life. Ain't no question about it. No, no. Well, Deacon Jones, what a pity. Yesterday he lost his wife. Yes, he did. While he was out there preaching, the woman was out all the night. No, yes she was. But that's life. Ain't no question about it. That's life. That's life. Well, no, you can't do without it. No, no. I mean, is it true? All those things they say about you. Well, I hear you like some head, but they usually wind up dead. They walked out, that's that. Saying, baby, what you got? Said I got this little lot, but just don't bring down the everybody, 'cause I don't like it. But that's life. You can't love everybody in life. Said that's life. Ain't no doubt about it, it's life.
We almost timed that perfectly. It's ending here in the studio, and it just ended over on the radio side. And you're listening to the Artist on the Rise radio show. My name is Guy Tolve. I am joined by legendary singer, producer, songwriter, you name it, he's done it, T-Life. Yeah, you know what? I keep forgetting, and I actually took it down. We could, I could have been playing applause in the background, but you know what?
Oh,
Screw
wow.
Well, I do have those buttons. I didn't take it up there.
That track you just played got applauded at RCA when I did it, and
Really?
that was done in 1970.
I think you said 9. 9? Nice.
Yeah, that was from my RCA album. That was the title of the album. That's like.
Yeah, by the way, I want everybody to start a petition to make sure he gives me all of this music so I can listen to it at home. And he's holding out. Right? I'm looking at his computer right now. He's got song after song after song in this thing, and I got 4 of them in here. Something's wrong with this picture.
You got some new stuff. I mean, that was like one.
I
of the
want
old,
all
that's
of it.
one of my. You got Will Lee from David Letterman Show, the old David Letterman
Right.
Show. You got Will Lee on that track. Steve Robbins. You got Irene Cara. You got
Really?
Luther Vandross.
Luther.
Yeah,
Rest his soul.
Oh, my rest his soul. Gordon Grody.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the old Coke 45
Oh, yeah.
commercial?
Yep, that was him. Yep, that was him.
Oh, man. You got the Brecker brothers, Michael and Randy.
Right.
You got, man, there's some, I'm talking about just powerhouses, you know, I mean, really name great musicians on that stuff. And I'm real proud of that album, you know.
You should be.
I had
It's a great
chance
album.
To work with some of the best musicians and singers in the entire world.
Yeah.
And that's an honor. But I always like that.
Yeah, I'm
song.
sure it was.
I had
You
to
know what
play
I
that
think we're
for
going to do right now? We've been going for over an hour straight without a break in here.
Really?
Yeah, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in some tracks on the radio side. We're going to go ahead and kill the Facebook feed. We're going to step out for a few minutes. We'll come back and restart the Facebook feed. So stay on Facebook and get ready for us to come back, and we'll see you in a little while. So what I want to do right now is I want to drop in. I actually never did play Cripple Black Phoenix. I had cut that out of there. And
You need to play that.
yeah, so I want to drop that in, and then I want to make sure we keep this a little bit on the heavy side.
Yeah, baby.
All right, so let's see what I have here. You know what, let me reopen this right here, and let me jump into my vault right here. If you could see what's in here, you'd be like, play that, play that, play that. That's why I don't let anybody see this. You know what? A little Black Jacket, Resurrection from 2014. They released that. And I think we'll do, you know what? We got to do a little Blue Moon Harem.
Oh!
Right? Blue Moon Harem Rocks Finland. Right? And that's a really, really great tune. I think you're going to enjoy this. So here we go. We're going to drop in some tunes. We're going to step out. We're going to get some air, rejuvenate, come back, and we'll finish out the last hour of the show with you. I want to thank everybody that's tuned in for sticking around with us. You're listening to the Artist on the Rise radio show on AOTR.Rocks.
Yeah, let's go take I have glaucoma.